This week, a lot is happening across Elon Musk companies. The Tesla Semi is finally moving beyond controlled demos and into real-world operations. SpaceX is celebrating 3 years of Starship test flights with massive progress. The Boring Company is accelerating on multiple fronts. And Tesla just revealed a hard truth about its full self-driving hardware. Let's break it all down. The Tesla Semi is starting to show up where it actually matters, in real operations, not at flashy events, not in controlled demonstrations, but in everyday logistics under real pressure. A great example comes from ISO Logistics, a US-based sustainable freight company. Until now, they've been using hydrogen-powered trucks, but they just launched a 3-week pilot using the Tesla Semi on active freight routes. And this is important, because these are real deliveries for real customers who don't care about Tesla. They just want their goods delivered on time. So if anything goes wrong, it becomes obvious very quickly. ISO is tracking 3 key metrics: energy efficiency, route reliability, driver experience. These are the exact factors that determine whether a truck stays in a fleet or gets replaced. On paper, Tesla claims up to 500 miles of rangeless, then 2 kilowatt-hours per mile and fast charging with significant range recovery in about 30 minutes. But what really matters is real-world data. DHL reported about 1.72 kilowatt-hours per mile, and ArcBest achieved around 1.55 kilowatt-hours per mile, both outperforming Tesla's own estimates. So what does that mean? Lower fuel costs, reduced emissions, and better overall efficiency compared to diesel trucks. But keep in mind, we're still in the early phase. These are pilots, not full-scale deployment. Now here's where things get even more interesting. A company called Aliath is introducing a new model, backhand index pointing right, Tesla Semi as a service. Instead of buying a truck outright, companies can subscribe to a full package: the truck charging infrastructure and energy supply, all bundled into one monthly cost. Why does this matter? Because the biggest challenge isn't the truck itself. It's everything around it. Coordinating vehicles' charging energy systems is complicated, expensive, and slow. This model removes that friction. Companies can step into a fully working system and test it in real conditions without massive upfront investment. This could be a major accelerator for long-haul electrification. Meanwhile, something is happening behind the scenes at Gigafactory Nevada. Recent observations show new structural components being delivered, increased activity at the Semi facility. It's not a confirmed production ramp yet, but the timing is interesting because at the same time, real-world testing is expanding, new business models are emerging, and now the factory appears to be preparing. We're not at scale yet, but the pattern is becoming clear. Backhand index pointing right, real-world validation. Backhand index pointing right, early adoption. Backhand index pointing right, production preparation. This week also marks a major milestone. Backhand index pointing right, 3 years since Starship's first test flight. And the progress has been incredible. That first flight, it was chaotic. Engine failures, loss of control, and ultimately, an explosion. It even damaged the launch pad. But instead of slowing down, SpaceX sped up. Each test pushed further. First ascent, then stage separation, then re-entry. By Flight 4, Starship completed its mission and performed a controlled water landing. Then Flight 5 achieved something historic. Backhand index pointing right, catching the booster with the launch tower arms. Now the program is entering its next phase. Backhand index pointing right, Starship version 3. Version 3 is more refined, more reliable, built for more demanding missions. But there are still challenges. For example, the loss of booster 18 during testing. And some tests have ended early due to sensor-triggered aborts. But this is classic SpaceX. Test, fail, improve, repeat. Next major step? Backhand index pointing right, Flight 12. Expected soon. This will be the first flight using version 3 hardware. If successful, it marks a huge leap forward. The Boring Company also had a big week. First, Nashville. A new tunneling machine called ProofRock MB2 has arrived on site. It's 15% more powerful, under-equipped with improved cutting systems. The goal? Backhand index pointing right, faster, continuous tunneling. But here's the key part. The next version is already in development. Backhand index pointing right, MB3 is coming. It will be optimized using real-world data from Nashville. Second development. Backhand index pointing right, international expansion. In Dubai, early work has started on the Dubai Loop project. Right now, it's still in the early phase, preparing infrastructure, producing concrete segments. But long-term, this could become a massive transport network. Overall, Boring Company is following a clear strategy. Backhand index pointing right, rapid iteration. Backhand index pointing right, real-world deployment. Backhand index pointing right, global expansion. Now for the most controversial update. Tesla has officially confirmed. Backhand index pointing right hardware 3 vehicles will not achieve full self-driving autonomy. Why? because the hardware simply isn't powerful enough anymore. It has about backhand index pointing right 1/8 the memory bandwidth of Tesla's newer AI 4 system. And as Tesla shifts toward more advanced AI models, the requirements have increased significantly. That said, Tesla isn't abandoning these vehicles. In the short term, backhand index pointing right, a lighter version of FSD-V14 is coming. It will bring supervised point-to-point driving improved features. But for full autonomy, backhand index pointing right new hardware will be required. Tesla is offering solutions. Discounted trade-ins or hardware upgrades, computer plus cameras. And to scale this process, Tesla is considering backhand index pointing right dedicated microfactories in major cities. So what does all of this mean? Everything is starting to move from concept to reality. Tesla Semi is entering real operation. Starship is getting closer to real missions. Boring Company is scaling its technology. Tesla is adjusting expectations around autonomy. We're not fully there yet, but all the pieces are starting to come together.